now. If you wish to block any future calls of this nature, dial...
Rudy?
Hey, Pat, it's good to hear your voice.
Hey. Did I wake you?
No. I was just about to get up.
Oh, just about to get up.
Yeah.
Well, I had to print this email out because it was really long, and the more time we spend reading on the thing, it burns up our time.
Yeah, I understand.
But no, he's this guy. I don't know what's going on between these two, Mike and this other guy. But I'm looking in here. I don't know whether he's mistyped or misspelled. He counted 4 twice. Says he's in school, so
yeah,
I don't know. But
right.
Mike did not know about any kidnapping plot because I didn't. Mike was in jail at the time, so there's no way he could have known unless he talked to Sue. And as far as me pleading guilty, the only reason that I pled guilty was my animals, and that is the only reason. It's not that I felt I was guilty. It's that it was all about the animals. Period.
Yeah, they were threatening your animals. I understand. Mike has. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This guy, he only gets one side of the story, and he gets what's made up by the government. Now, as far as what the guys that I work with said, that's their belief, but I didn't say anything to them about Mike, being abusive or anything. And
it sounds like they just jumped to conclusions without knowing the full facts. Some of the folks that you worked with, and Mike, I think here's the deal, Pat. Mike has. He's got on the radar of these devilish hyenas, and they're doing everything they can to drive a wedge or doubt, in Mike, and they're also attacking him.
From a federal prison.
They're writing articles about him, and they're writing articles about me, and I just don't have time to engage them. And I'm trying to advise Mike, they're not worth your time, man. They're like the bottom feeders of hell, So
yeah.
But I think it's just some of their writings have taken Mike a little bit by surprise. But I'll tell him that. What you just said, and also he's asking about the affidavit, if you're still working on that, or I can't remember if you've sent it. Things are so running together in my mind about all these different prisoners. So
I've got it. I've got to see what to do about the notification around here.
Okay, okay.
It's hard to get anything done around here.
Oh, you mean the notarization, getting notarized?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
very good.
I have copies. I just need to get it notarized and sent out. So.
Okay. Well, very good. I appreciate you responding, and I'll tell Mike you send him your love. And he's just under attack by all these devilish hyenas that want to pick apart every word, and they're not good, godly Christians at all. And Mike's trying to defend himself, but of course he's locked up, so he's very limited in his ability. So.
Well, I mean, this guy's going to help for one thing, because if he gets that, transcript,
yeah.
They told me it was going to be over $1,000, almost $2,000 to get that transcript.
Wow.
And I didn't have the money, so if this guy's going to get it, and send it to you, then
well, there you go.
Hey, he's helping without even realizing.
Yeah. Well, they do seem to have access
Mike
to.
Mike doesn't need to be. I don't know about this taking him behind the woodshed and stuff. If Mike is talking like that, he's not helping himself any. But they're already trying to make Mike out to be a dangerous man, and he's not. And then who is this Hingston fella?
Oh, he's another political prisoner that I advocate for, and he was set up too by a liar. He's just another prisoner, and I call him America's most provably innocent political prisoner. But he's been in prison 15 years. There's so many crazy things going on in our court systems, Pat, as you know already.
Yeah, I know, and it's crazy. I mean, I read this to Cheryl last night, and she's like, "This is crazy."
Yeah.
But I just, I mean, I understand, I understand where Mike is coming from, because he's claustrophobic and being locked up, and it's breaking him mentally, but they're trying to make him out to be a dangerous man, which he's not. But then he's making comments like "take you out behind the woodshed" if he's made that comment, which is, I don't know.
Well,
but,
yeah, I don't even see that as being a danger. This after you should see some of the writings. You have to understand the full context of the attacks. that they have put out against Mike. I mean, they've got very unflattering pictures of Mike and Sue, and they're putting like these words over them, and they're trying to paint Mike. And so Mike, and they're also saying things about you, and they're painting this narrative, and Mike is obviously getting upset, as any man would. And then, Mike just, I don't think I've seen it over and over again, Pat, because I deal with so many different prisoners, and I see how they come. It's like a pack of devilish hyenas. When I use that word, that's really what they are. And they pick apart somebody's emotional weaknesses, and they're trying to get Mike to respond. So if that's all he said, and I don't even know that he said it too, I don't even remember that particular comment, but that's very mild compared to the appropriate response on what they're doing. I mean, Mike's probably never seen anything like this before, but we see it quite often. And, they put him in the sovereign citizen camp, and they try to make him out to be a domestic terrorist, and it's just crazy.
So, now I understand he was forced to have the TB. So, is he in general population now, or is he still isolated?
Well, I think he's in general population. That's my understanding, and that whole story. I don't want to say. Yeah, I don't want to say anything to upset you, but that whole TB thing wasn't a pleasant thing for Mike. I mean, they really had to force it on him, and it was against his will. And I think they performed a criminal action when they forced Mike to get that TB shot.
Yeah, but nobody will ever side with that. So I mean,
well, they had to strap him down, and there was some punches thrown, not by Mike, and Mike was just trying to tell him to stop. This is against my will. I don't want the shot, and he didn't. They had to strap him down and force that shot upon him, and then there was some very violent actions by the U.S. Marshals to get him that needle in him, and. I would side with Mike. I would definitely say what they did was horrifically criminal. And I've got other people, Pat, that refused the TB shot, and they were able to refuse it simply by doing some sort of X-ray or something, or they didn't have to go through what Mike had to go through. So I think they've. Yeah,
I did some other research before I got here, and there are other ways to do it. Now Mike won't take an X-ray either, though.
Oh, I see.
He worked at FedEx, and they had a class on X-rays and radiation, so he knows what that does to you. So,
yeah.
But they do have. They don't want to use it, but they do have. They can do a urinalysis and check it. Although they're claiming here, no, they can't. It's like, look, I did my research when I came in here, and yes, you can.
Yeah.
And they can also draw blood and check.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But these people, the way they. I mean, around here, a lot of the guards are men. They won't touch a woman. If somebody goes down sick or something, you have everybody rush over there, but they're just standing around with their hands in their pockets. Until a nurse or somebody gets there. But I mean, you read that letter I sent as far as medical here. So
I call it.
I've refused him everything. I said, look, if I have cancer, so be it. I pick quality of life rather than quantity.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. And I called it the Pat Parsons writes about the medical horrors of prison. So, yeah. Yeah.
Well, Misofumi's, I think I told you, but Misofumi's lawyer, her family's lawyer, wrote me in here.
Oh yeah, the one who died, right?
Because she found, she had found what you had put up. So.
Yeah. Okay.
But people are afraid. They're afraid to talk because they don't want their visitation taken away. They don't want their phone rights taken away. They don't want to be thrown in solitary, which they call the SHU.
Yeah, special housing unit, right? Yeah.
Yeah, people shouldn't have to live in fear, and they shouldn't have to live in pain. I mean, that's like I said in that letter. I have seen Cheryl. I've walked across the compound with her multiple times, and she's just bent over crying in pain.
Wow. Yeah, it's
people shouldn't live like that.
I think across our country, these private prisons, they're kind of falling apart. We've got one in Victorville. I forget, it might be Victorville. I can't remember the name of the state. But anyway, they put in 1,000 new prisoners, and there's not enough guards to handle them, and there's infectious diseases that are going all around the prison, and they say that it's just on the verge of a riot. I mean, these private prisons are falling apart all over the country, and but
that's a men's prison too. I think there is a difference between men and women's prisons. So
yeah, well, you wouldn't,
This call is from a federal prison.
I mean, it goes around here that, I've heard of, scabies in here. I haven't seen it. Usually, one gets bronchitis. Anyway, I'm fixing to lose you, and we've got an inspection, so I have to go.
Okay, God bless you,
Tell
Pat.
Mike I love him.
All right, I will. You're in our prayers. Bye-bye.
All right, bless you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.